All right, guys, it's another fun-filled and exciting week. I'm Eric.
I'm Nathan.
And we are
Notes
and Nerds. Alright guys, so we're excited. We just got done watching one of the greatest shows on Netflix.
So far.
It took us by surprise.
Yes.
So, hey guys, we're going to be talking about what show, Nathan?
Daredevil.
The Man Without Fear. So, without further ado, we want to let you know there's spoilers coming up. So,
If you haven't seen the series and you want to, go watch it before you see this, because this is a total spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff about the TV series. So if you don't want to listen to this just yet, go watch it. I binge watched it.
we will not be held accountable for
Ruining anything that you are about to watch.
what he said.
Yep.
So, without further ado,
All
Netflix's Daredevil series is part of, and this is not speculation, this is not assumption, this is not hoping, it is a part of the official Marvel Cinematic Universe. Here's one of the spoilers. There is a lot of Easter eggs, not necessarily Easter eggs per se, but definitely little hints here and there that are thrown out where they constantly make reference to the fact that the show is in New York, the events that happened in Avengers in New York with the alien invasion, so on and so forth. They don't go outright and just boom, here it is. Because in all reality...
Little subtle hints.
Yeah, because in all reality, most people, if an alien invasion happened, we all want to go back to our ignorant ways and not remember something that catastrophic.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're seeing here. So it's great to see this part of the cinematic universe and not some standalone stuff, because honestly, I think it works better this way.
Yes.
So the show stars Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Daredevil, Deborah Ann Wall as Karen Page, Eldon Henson as Foggy Nelson, which is Murdock's co-partner, avocado in law.
Nelson and Murdock.
And then we have Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, a.k.a. Kingpin.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, so in comparison to what we saw from the Daredevil Affleck film, don't get me wrong, I think Ben Affleck is a great actor.
I really liked the movie. It was fun. It was
a fun film.
Yeah.
I really think that's as far as we can go with it. It was a fun film, and that was it. It wasn't exactly pure to the comic books in a sense. There was a lot of things wrong with the overall series, but in a nutshell, it was a fun film. But
Affleck's suit was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I mean, red leather, come on.
We'll bring that up here after a bit regarding the suits from the two and compare them and see which one we thought was the better. But anyway, let's talk about the characters. Charlie Cox really portrayed a blind Matt Murdock really well.
Really good.
I was impressed. I liked
his
how he did it.
struggles. Oh my God, the stuff he has to go through. You do feel compassion for this character and the other characters, but man, he just has a really, really crap mess to deal with.
I think Charlie Cox really kind of he had little subtle things. When he was Daredevil, he kind of hid those blind man problems very well. But as Charlie Cox, or as Matt Murdock, he portrayed a blind man as well as I can assume, because obviously not blind. And I couldn't really ask a blind person to tell us if it was accurate, because they'd have to see it, I guess. But I mean, the way he walked around in a room, the way he ignored certain body gestures, like if somebody nodded, he didn't give any kind of reference towards it. He just kind of like how Foggy would constantly say, he nodded right there. Yeah, so there was a lot of things, like looking for things. He wouldn't just boom grab it. It'd be like and then done with it. And then we got, Eldon Henson's portrayal of Foggy, I think he was a fun, goofy guy that we all can relate to, that we all have in our life. So, it works. Deborah Ann Wall, I think she really captured the essence of being totally in fear. She is an attractive woman, definitely. But I think she really portrayed the fear that she had after, basically being threatened with murder and trying to do everything that's
Then
right.
almost being murdered.
Yeah. I think she portrayed, but there's one actor / character on this show that I think took me by surprise, took you by surprise.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, the way he's portrayed.
Vincent D'Onofrio did an excellent job.
You're not supposed to feel compassion for the bad guy. But the way they portray him, he's so sad and alone, and we've all been there.
Well, look at the painting that he bought at the beginning of when they first introduced him, rather than just being the faceless, voiceless employer. When they finally introduced Wilson Fisk at the art gallery, he's looking at this painting that is looking like nothing more, and it just popped up on my screen randomly.
Than a scaffold wall.
It looked like somebody did a really kind of a textured plastering.
Yeah.
And then the flashback to his childhood. And
what happened?
You realize, oh my God.
Yeah, well, why he was actually that way. Spoiler alert, he was 12 years old. He seen his father beating his mother with a belt. He snapped and beat his father to death with a hammer. Then the mother covered it up and cut him up and threw him in the river.
Because he was
an a-hole.
And we're not going to give reasons why that they didn't get in trouble for it, because some spoilers will leave for you guys, the viewers. Anyway,
you do feel compassion for this guy, and his everyday life is just kind of a repeat until this woman Vanessa comes in and shows that more emotional side, and you get to see this guy who is just alone.
Yes.
Try to fight with the struggles with being a would you say underlord, or
he was a bit of an underlord. Here's the thing that I really thought was impressive, that I really believed him, and I don't think the character was lying, was when he kept telling people, I do not enjoy doing these cruel things. Whether that be murder,
he would always tell people, he goes, I will always be honest. And even though he did horrible things, he was always honest about them.
And he never took pride or enjoyment out of doing these things.
Yep.
And the way D'Onofrio presented these through Kingpin, I really think Kingpin, or Wilson Fisk, if you will, was honest. I don't think he really...
And you never messed with his mother.
No. And that's the other thing, too, the mother. These are signs where you really felt compassion and could relate to this character. The way his mother was, he was very protective of his mother, and not like psycho mommy issues protective. No, that is my mom. Don't fuck with my mom.
Yeah.
The same with Vanessa. He didn't just find this woman attractive and wanted some arm candy. No,
he loved her.
Oh my God, it was true, honest. Not just loved her, but he was literally in love with her. His character had the compassion. He had that scope of ability of being human to identify with love and in love. He was not just this heartless, cold, evil
In one of the episodes, Vanessa was accidentally poisoned.
It wasn't accidental.
Well, yep. I was trying to throw him off.
We're not going to give them all to you, folks.
But she was poisoned, and this man was by her side in the hospital, never left. His guards was there. I mean, you seen, and he told her while she was unconscious, I will do whatever I need to. I will make them pay.
And then when she woke up, she was just totally like, go kick their ass.
Yeah. She's so supportive of who he is, and she doesn't care because she loves him.
Would I dare say I'm kind of afraid of her character.
Yeah.
Her character next season is going to be interesting.
She is. You see her at first, and you're like, oh, it's a sweet, nice, little, elegant woman. And then you see her being like, you go do your business. You go do this. And you see this mob boss wife emerge and be his backbone. And
oh, God, yes. So this is what I'm saying. But here's the thing. This is why I'm not afraid for Wilson Fisk with her. Mm-hmm. I'm more afraid about the world. See, when at the end of the series, I'm not going to say what happened exactly, but it is pretty obvious she was honest and supportive of him, and that she waited. She honestly waited until she couldn't wait no longer, because they had the plan. They discussed that they had what was going to happen. This was what was going to happen. And she didn't just deviate a little. No, she stuck to it right up to the point when she was forced to have to do what she had to do that she didn't want to. And it was brilliant. So I'm really happy for them. You know, I hope they tie the knot and get happy.
That's kind of bad. Yeah, it's kind of weird that you feel compassion and stuff for this bad guy.
And that's what I think was what was done so amazingly well with this series.
I mean, they talk. I mean, they put a lot of detail and a lot of reality towards looking at these people as actual people. Like, it's somebody that you can walk out and know right outside your door. I mean, they do really good, what's the word I'm looking for? Almost structure with the character.
Yeah. The characters have a lot of structure. I mean, they're multi-layered. They're like onions. They have layers.
You're watching this and you know their backstory. It's like, it's no different than maybe knowing your own friend.
Yeah, I mean, these people, the characters were well defined. I think in the 13 episodes, they defined them as well as a lot of shows do in 22 episodes per season.
Even the ones that were, that actually got killed off in this season, you got to know them pretty good. James, Kingpin's
his friend and
right-hand
man. We're not going to discuss what happened there with him, but
we're going to discuss that. You got to see their, even though Kingpin was the boss and he was the assistant,
but they were friends.
They were friends, and you got to see how much he really cared for this guy.
At the same time, he's another one that kind of scared me, and I'm kind of glad died because
he was very unpredictable, because he was very well put together, and he didn't just explode. He's like, okay, yes, yep, okay.
But he's the aspect to the Kingpin.
He was the guy
enjoyed what he did.
Yeah, he is one of those guys that you would not want to sit across the table from you.
Unless you were having a happy game of poker with beer and you were best friends.
Yes.
Otherwise, no. If he hands you a gun, pull the trigger.
Yes.
That's the kind of guy he is. So anyway, let's compare this a little bit to the Daredevil film.
Okay.
I mean, with Ben Affleck's character, not to say this is not against Ben Affleck or Michael Clark Duncan. No. This is
amazing
about
actors.
The characters themselves.
Yeah.
The Matt Murdock in the film, you didn't really identify with.
No, yeah, and just some of the stuff that he did, like out of the Daredevil costume, was kind of hokey, and
he wasn't a very good lawyer.
No,
the character in the movie was a horrible lawyer. I did not like the explanation. Okay, in the series on Netflix, I really liked where they went with how his powers were. Kind of was born with it, but because he had sight, they never came to fruition. But when he lost his sight, these abilities, they weren't powers necessarily. He's not a mutant or he's not superhuman or anything.
That's another thing I liked. Like in the movie, he had this radar where he could see people and stuff.
Echolocation.
And see, he doesn't have this in this.
No, in this series, it was explained that basically his senses are heightened pretty much, and they've always been this way, even with sight. But because of with sight, they kind of was dull.
So the chemical that got in his eye really didn't put anything.
It just
there.
blinded him.
It just And
I have a theory about that we're going to discuss after a bit. Anyway, he describes it in the show that basically he can sense and feel changes in the breeze and hears things.
Body temperature,
temperatures, everything like that. He can hear them, and because he can hear them,
like we would sit there and bring our arm up, he can hear the fabric. And he can hear the muscles and
bones,
stuff,
and everything. It was incredible.
If you would move your body right, he could hear the bone shift.
And basically, in a nutshell, what they're saying is that it wasn't the brain visually seeing this, like in the movie that they described it. No, the brain was taking all of these senses, all this information, and going like, "This is what it is." And it was just kind of this blurry image that he basically referred to as the world on fire.
Yep.
The world wasn't on fire, obviously, but the brain interprets the information from these senses to create this image. He knows it's a person, whether it be a man or a woman. He can tell based off of certain physical features. The main thing was the brain, obviously. He had heightened senses. He was able to determine what was going on. So then we got Kingpin from the movie versus the Kingpin from the series.
And you know what? Michael Clark Duncan was an awesome. I mean, was an awesome Kingpin. I mean, he had that, you know.
He had that presence.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
the problem was,
you didn't get to know his character well enough.
all he was a villain.
Yeah.
He was a kingpin.
You really didn't get to know too much about him like you do in the series.
And I think that really was one of the things that hurt the show, the movie itself, is that you just couldn't identify.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of backstory, so you couldn't really, you know. What am I looking for?
You couldn't identify.
Really, yeah, identify or
connect
connect with the characters.
So, in a nutshell, comparing the two, the first season of Daredevil on Netflix versus the only film of Daredevil, the series not only kicked its ass, but it took its ass for a drive, threw it off a bridge, fished it out of the river, hung it up to dry, and then beat it.
Yes, yes. I have to agree. The series is amazing. It is just, wow.
TV series have an advantage
I'll
over
make this
movies.
comparison. Okay. I know some people like Constantine with Keanu Reeves, but
It's an okay movie.
yeah, once you watch the series,
It's not an okay movie.
it's not an okay movie because, like Daredevil, Constantine is amazing and it stays to its source material like Daredevil did with Netflix. Thank you.
The obvious argument that would be in this situation would be a movie only gets to tell a story in anywhere from
A nutshell.
90-minute to 120-minute time frame, whereas a TV series has multiple episodes over the course of a year, or in this case, in the course of a night.
Yeah, and most of the
You know,
series
multiple
range for
hours.
about, I don't know, 50 minutes to 60, and you can tell a lot.
And you can flesh out the characters better, tell backstories to help you identify better.
So what was better?
The series was
The series.
so much better, and it is going to be going for a number 2.
Yeah.
Let's talk about real quick the costumes. Now, here's the thing. I really
Before we
like
get
both.
on top of this, I'm going to tell you something. Rosario Dawson is in this.
She was in 5 episodes.
Oh, I don't care. I am so in love with her. She is so hot.
I expect to see her more in season 2 than season 1. First of all, keep in mind she's going to be in Clerks 3,
Yes.
so she's going to be a little bit busy.
But she's still hot.
She is an amazingly attractive woman.
Swing.
So I mean, it's just going to be. I expect to see more of her. I mean, that's the other thing
Even
about this
the lady
series.
that played Vanessa was really good.
Ayla Zur.
Yeah.
Zurer.
Her, the one that played Paige. Just some very attractive women here.
Yes. Now, I think
Suits.
the suits.
Okay.
What'd you think of the movie suit with Affleck?
I really liked it. The whole red leather thing. I'll say this. It stayed true to the comic.
It was very true to the comic book without being hokey or
Yep.
goofy looking. It looked like what it was supposed to look
Yeah.
like from the comics.
But I do also like the TV series because it makes it look realistic. Yeah, functional.
It stayed to the essence of the Daredevil suit, but it looked like it looked like riot gear that you would actually
Kind
see
of
somebody
like
wearing.
the Batman suit from Dark Knight and Batman Begins and stuff. How it made it functional.
I mean, look at that MIT kid that made the Batman suit a few months ago.
Have you guys heard about this?
It was a phenomenal suit. It looked real. It functioned. He was
Tick
able to do
repellent.
stuff.
He was even stabbed with it, and it was knife repellent.
So I mean, the suit worked, and this is where a lot of comic book movies have been going for the last 20 years. Is take the comic book character, keep the costume, but make it functional. I mean, the only one we're going to see where it maintains functional look but looks almost identical to the comic book is Deadpool's costume,
Yeah.
and we're glad they're going that route. But this
with
looks
this suit,
amazing.
if anybody watched this, the material was actually stuff from Kingpin's coat to, like, if he was ever like shot or stabbed, you know, he wouldn't die because it was just pure fabric, but it was what was in the fabric.
And this suit,
Chemicals.
this suit was a little more heftier than what Kingpin got.
Yeah, he just have it lined in his nice dress suits. Daredevil is all pimped out.
The suit was impressive. I mean, there was certain aspects of the head part that I was kind of like, it looks a little weird, a little goofy, but at the same time, it functioned. Now with those out of the way, what about the black look, the black mask look? A lot of people were complaining that this is what he was looking like for the entire season.
I was worried about this because he had that kind of Zorro feel to him. But that's, if I remember, in the Frank Miller's version, he did the black with the mat.
He did that. That was
the cloth look, as I call it, the black cloth.
It was his initial look.
Yeah.
That's how he looked before he donned the crimson red, because he's a street level hero. He's not a billionaire. I mean, the show really
he is broke as crap.
That's what I like about this too.
Yeah, that's the different thing from the movie. In the movie, he had this nice pad. He had a deprivation chamber. He had money. No.
And that's another Easter egg I caught in there too a couple times. They made a reference to Iron Man and Thor. You know, I don't have a suit of iron and I don't have a magical hammer.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, yes, keep it rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the costume, the way they used it, and the way it was portrayed for its use was, duh, he's a broke mofo that can't afford a fancy armored suit until he obviously got into the workshop and did his thing. I'm not going to spoil that much either. But everybody who's watched it knows what I'm talking about. But I mean, the black cloth look, the black mask and everything, it made sense for what he was trying to achieve.
And well, it was good because you just didn't start out with the suit. It built up to it.
Yes, that's the other important thing.
And there was always talks of like, what are you planning to do? Stop a bullet with that outfit?
Rosario Dawson's Claire, Claire constantly made this, you really need to get body armor. You really need body armor.
Yeah.
When are you going to get body armor?
Because she was the one constantly fixing him up.
Yeah, pretty much. So, all in a nutshell, I mean, the show really captured the essence of Daredevil. It rolled so well. There was occasional episodes where there was a little bit of a flow issue, where it kind of like, you felt like the previous episode was fast-paced and action-packed, and then the next episode
kind of slowed down a little bit.
But is that really an issue that the show had, or is that just something that we're so used to in normal shows that happen over the course of, a couple of months? You think about this, everybody's binged watched this that has seen it. We don't watch it like, okay, I'm going to see it
every episode
week.
has to be bam, 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 bam.
Story elements.
Yeah.
D'Onofrio's, the Kingpin episodes, where it was just Kingpin, those were the ones that tended to be a little slower.
And you know what? I liked them.
I did. It was great backstory.
Like I said, with the Kingpin character, you feel compassion. You get to take that time and see what his world is, where he came from, what he had to go through, what his life was before he met Vanessa, and how his life is now. And I mean, like I say, he's a bad guy.
Yeah, we're not supposed to feel for them.
Yeah, you're not supposed to give a crap about him, and you're just like, oh, poor dude.
You wanted to just reach through that screen and give big old Wilson Fisk a big hug and say, it's going to be okay, buddy.
Yeah.
But, guys, if you
on the other hand, don't piss him off.
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. If you haven't watched it and you watch this, we try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Please watch it.
Because seriously, if we were going to release all the rest of the spoilers, it'd probably be another 10 minutes here.
Yeah. And we're not going to do that because
you owe it to yourself to watch it. So after this, go do it.
So now, as I've referred to him already a couple times so far, he is considered a street level hero.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a derogatory term that was thrown at guys like Daredevil, Punisher, and a couple others.
Super Hood Rat!
See, the thing is, these characters don't have superpowers. They're not, mutants. They're not aliens. They're not billionaires. They're not chemically enhanced super soldiers. They're not gamma radiated beasts. No, these are guys who got sick and tired of
They're discount Batmans. They don't have the money, but they still have cool stuff.
And they have the courage to stand up for what's right,
Yep.
even if it means breaking the laws or standing just outside the boundaries of the laws to accomplish the goals that need to be accomplished. Daredevil is the #1 character right now because he's got enough people that know who he is to do something with. But we got 3 other characters that are going to be coming out on Netflix in their own series that are going to be in the same realm, in the same city of New York, that will be portraying additional street level heroes to create the Defenders, I believe is what they call themselves. We have
Luke Cage.
Then we have Iron Fist.
Then we have Jessica Jones.
And they are going to be released on their own. And then what's going to happen after all of them have their own shows out, we're going to see a mini-series.
Was it Iron Fist one of them?
That's what I said.
Okay. I
said
thought we missed that one. But yeah.
They're going to create a mini-series crossover event of all 4 of them to do a big story event. What that story is going to encompass, we don't know. And we wish we knew. We wish we knew some details about season 2, but nothing's out.
Yeah. While we're on that, what are our hopes for season 2?
As much as I thought D'Onofrio was a great actor and how he portrayed Wilson Fisk in this season, I really kind of hope that they kind of step away from him for one season, only to introduce us to a new villain. Because here's the thing: in one of the episodes where they brought in Stick, the guy who trained Murdoch when he was a child, he leaves at the end of the episode.
Played by Scott Glenn, right?
I believe so.
There we go.
Talks to a big guy in this meditative environment, and I'm thinking it's the Hand. Mm-hmm. The Hand, for those who are not familiar, is an evil ninja clan that the Daredevil fights against.
Not to get mixed with the Foot, but Ninja Turtles did steal that.
Little trivia for you guys. The story about the chemical that mutated the Ninja Turtles is actually supposedly the chemical that blinded Matt Murdock as a child. The story goes in the original Ninja Turtles backstory stuff. This little boy was crossing the street, saved a man, got hit in the head with this chemical, splashed all over his face, went down in the sewers, and mutated the turtles. Eastman and Laird has confirmed that. Also, the Foot in the Ninja Turtles is a reference and an homage to the Hand in Daredevil.
But back to Stick.
I think the guy he was talking to was the head of the clan of the Hand. And I really am hoping that next season we see something big happen. The Chinese woman that had the heroin production, she wasn't anywhere to be seen in the last episode or two. After a few things, she went back to China and
she got the hell out of Dodge.
She even emphasized that the heroin trafficking was not even her primary goal. It wasn't even a side thought. It was just something to help make ends meet at the time because it was a necessary evil. I'm paraphrasing and adding in a few things, but that is in a nutshell what was going on.
Yes.
So I'm curious as to what role she will have next season.
You know what character I'm looking for? Bullseye.
I'm also looking forward to Elektra because she was a member of the Hand as well, and she is a very prominent character for the Daredevil franchise. So it's interesting to see where they go with that. But other than that, we don't want to speculate too much and get things wrong because, yeah. But anyways, guys, that was fun. I hope you guys watch it, and we really hope you guys keep checking things out with Netflix and their Marvel Cinematic Universe shows.
Definitely go check out Daredevil on Netflix. It has all 13 episodes up. Binge watch it.
Get it over with. Get it quick. You'll thank us later.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, if you want to keep track of what's going on with Notes and Nerds, the best way to do that is going to our website at notesandnerds.com. We also do a lot of posting on our social media sites right here at Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Like right now, we got some trailers. We've shared some trailers on our Facebook and Google+ pages for the upcoming Fantastic Four film. I dare say it may actually be a fun film. I'm kind of hoping.
I might have to eat my words when I called it a fantastic flop.
We both might.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, if you want to buy stuff of ours with our Notes and Nerds logo right on it,
pimp yourself out.
Right here at shop.notesandnerds.com.
We got all kinds of cool stuff. You can buy pretty much anything.
Pretty much. Yep. And if you don't want to buy anything, but you still want to help support us by giving us money, we always like money, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/notesandnerds.
And let me explain a little with that. You are basically helping us, and you get stuff back.
Yes.
And we get to better the Notes and Nerds, get to better what you get to see. So if you help us, we help you.
Just think, guys, all of this here set is out of our own pockets, and we would really like helping or getting help to make it better. So with that, guys, we just want you to keep tuning in, watching our shows, and hey, interact with us. We want to hear from you guys.
And kumbaya,
my little toads. Ribbon.